Good morning, everybody. It is 12 minutes past 7 o'clock right now, and every week about this time we visit with our friends from Westside Auto Pros, and this morning we have Joe the Other Car Guy stopping by to pay us a visit. And judging by what you have on the counter, I'm thinking you're talking about windshield wipers.
We are.
Okay,
with the rain out
I
there
know it. I know it.
Yep,
no, but this is the time of year when the weather's getting cold, and you know what happens to batteries when things get cold.
Well, we were showing you this morning, we were talking about a couple disabled vehicles, not accidents, and some of those might pertain to batteries. Because what is the relationship? When it gets colder, is it just more annoying that our car doesn't start in the morning, or is the cold actually doing something to our battery?
You actually hit the nail on the head. It's more annoying.
Yeah.
More batteries actually fail in the heat.
Seriously.
Than in the cold.
And we've discussed that in the summer times, especially at the peak of the summer, how batteries degrade.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of summer. But this is when people are paying attention to it more,
Exactly.
right?
If it's 10 degrees and you go out and your car doesn't start, I mean, it's a potentially, catastrophic event. If you go outside and it's 90 and it doesn't start, I think you're just going to sweat a little.
Because because in the summertime, if you go to start your car and the battery fails, you have nothing. But in the winter, it's usually and you get that feeling.
Yeah. Yep. And it's just you're deflated.
All right. So teach us about batteries.
We're going to learn about them today. We already talked about more of them fail in the heat than the cold, but it's more annoying in the cold. So people are more in tune to the fact that it's cold.
Want to make sure it's working.
Start. I have no heat.
Right.
So the average lifespan of a battery in Iowa is 4 years and 2 months. That's all you get out of them.
That's not a long time.
It's not. We have the extremes is why. We have the extreme heat, we have the extreme cold, and we get everything in between.
It just breaks down the cells?
Exactly, yeah.
Is there a born-on date on those guys? Because, I mean, I can't even tell you how old my battery is in
there kind of is. It used to be on the top of the battery. They had the little knockout things that you could see in June of 2012 was when it was put in. Some of them still have that. This is a AAA battery that we sell. It actually has a date code, which is M4. I didn't do my math this morning to know what month M was, but what that is it relates to the month, and then 4 would be 14. So in this case, that battery was a 2014.
Okay.
So it's about done.
It's about done, yeah. Especially, there's nothing inside of this one, so it's just a plastic case.
So what happens? You mentioned that, just figure 4 years as a ballpark here. For 4 years, well, what happens to a battery in that 4-year period of time?
Well, if you think about the amount of times that battery is going to start your car, I mean, it's several per day depending on, you're coming and going. So you're constantly using that battery. The cells that are inside that, they're going to break down over time. And as they're starting to break down over time, it's losing its ability to start your car in a quick manner.
Okay.
There's 2 things to know on batteries. There's state of charge, which is how much electricity is present, how many volts you have. And then there's state of health, which is how long it can actually supply that electricity to your vehicle.
And are those 2 things you would test for if you're kind of curious as we're heading into some colder temperatures as we're feeling today?
Correct.
To make sure that my battery is going to last me through the winter.
Yep. If you bought a brand new car in 2013 or even 2014, because the 18s are starting to come out, you've got a 4 to 4.5-year-old battery in your car.
So it might be time.
It might be time, or at least get it tested and know going into winter. I mean, batteries can fail like a light bulb. They can work one day and not the next.
Right.
But this would be the time you want to take care of it before the really cold temperatures come.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd rather take care of it on a 45-degree and rain day than 0 and snow and ice. And
Got it.
Yeah. So the cold cranking amps, that's the first one. That's the initial power. So when you hit the key, that's how many amps it has to actually start the vehicle.
So how powerful the battery is.
Correct.
Okay.
The higher the better on that. I mean, it's just the higher the better that you can get.
Okay.
The reserve capacity, that is a big deal. And the reserve capacity is not one that is often marketed, nobody talks about, nobody may even know what it is. And that's the amount of minutes that battery can actually supply the electricity to your vehicle. That actually weighs a lot on battery cost, battery warranty, and that sort of thing. So, for instance, on the top of this battery, it tells us our cold cranking amps, and it tells us it has a reserve capacity of 115 minutes. So for almost 2 hours, it can supply that, which would be a highly rated battery.
Okay, and what that means is that that battery would be able to supply the power to power your vehicle for that length of time?
Yes, for 115 minutes before it's going to drop below a voltage that it's of no use.
Necessary for all the electronics.
Correct.
Okay.
So when you're testing it, if it's below those numbers, then you have to know you might possibly need a new battery.
Exactly, yeah. And our tester will tell us, you know, how many cold cranking amps are available. If it's only operating at 50%, you know, it's going to tell us replace the battery. The same thing on the reserve capacity. If it came back and said your state of health on the battery, or excuse me, your state of charge is low, then it's going to say replace that battery. So it's a simple handheld test that you can test a battery with.
Now, are these things worth anything after 2 years or 3 years, or is it pretty much disposable?
There is a warranty on, and that's also gonna weigh into the cost of a battery. People will say, well, you know, I can get a cheaper battery. You're absolutely right, you can, and everything about it's going to be cheaper. The prorated warranty is gonna be based off of some inflated retail price. So a lot of batteries, when you hit 3 to 4 years, you might as well just buy a new battery and start over, because what you're going to put into it as far as time and effort, you're not going to get much of a warranty back out of it.
Got it.
After everything we're discussing today, is there something we could compare it to if you're like, you know what he's saying really doesn't make sense
Exactly,
to me?
yep. There's several analogies, and probably the biggest one's a hot water heater.
Okay.
Your cold cranking amps is how hot the water is going to get that comes out of your shower head or your bath.
Okay.
The reserve capacity is for how long that will actually come out.
Well, how long it's going to stay
So
hot?
it may come out 130 degrees, but if it's only going to come out for 2 minutes, I better take a quick shower.
Yeah, you better lather up and rinse quickly, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so again, keep that in mind when that's going on. But so batteries, take care of your batteries before the really cold weather hits us. If nothing else, have it checked. Will you guys check our batteries?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay,
You
so
can
if I
come
come over,
by,
you'll check it?
just say, I need a battery test, and we'll have it done in 10 minutes for you.
There you go. All right.
Wonderful. Well, we want to remind everybody it is still the month of October.
It is.
So there's a pretty big special you guys are going on for Shocktober.
That's
Yeah,
right.
this is a great deal.
It is, yeah. We've had a ton of people call and get in on this. It's buy two, get two free on shocks and struts. One of them is an instant rebate. The other one you mail in, you get back in the mail. Now that we've started seeing some of them get done, people, the other day we had one that she saved $250 instantly and then got another $250 back in the mail.
Even better.
Wow,
what
so
a
it
great
works.
deal.
Take
It
advantage.
works.
All right, well, if people want to get in touch with you about Shocktober or getting their battery tested or any other car or vehicle needs, how can they get in touch with you, Joe?
You bet. They can find us at westsideautopros.com, call us at 225-9090, or you can email me at joe@westsideautopros.com.
Boom.
Thank you, Joe the Car Guy.
I'm here.
All right, buddy. We will be right back. It's 20 minutes past 7 o'clock.